All right, welcome to Smokey Approved Korea. I'm your boy Journalist, and on this one, we are here to check out another one from Asian Entertainment. This one is going to be: Can each BTS member become more successful than BTS? Uh, Before we get into the video, let me see my prediction. More successful than the whole. Yes, but their success also is supported and rooted in the whole. So even though one can be bigger than the group, no one's gonna actually be bigger than the group. So let's say metrically, each of them can do numbers that are larger than the work that they can do together. But the ability to get to the point to being able to do numbers where the individual could do more numbers than the whole requires them to have been a part of the whole. And then if they go do more numbers that are larger than the whole, they're doing them with the thought of still remaining a part of the whole. So does it really matter? But I say it's possible, but it's not possible. It's one of those like you can't have one without the other. It's like you can't have the chicken without the egg kind of situation. But we're gonna find out what Shorty has to say. That's my thought so far. Thank you for joining me. Please do hit that like, subscribe, Patreon, and PayPal are in the description. And let's get into this one.
I have a question. Do I ask this question? You guys might be like, do you think each member of BTS can match the level of success of BTS? One Hot Shun asked, I don't know enough about BP. Do they have good camaraderie? They seem to be very good friends. That is what I honestly think. I think they have a really, really good friendship. It's just that some people keep on shading them, insisting that they are not good friends. Um, are we Bang Luna is asking, are we going to discuss international versus local fame? International. International. Jazzy J, say that again. What? Are you asking me to repeat the question? Faiza said maybe JK. Asha said nope. Bang Luna said yes. Disha said Rosie is more Avril Lavigne coded than Taylor Swift. Could be. I think JK could. Existing Psychology said, I like G Idol. Chrissy said yes. JK, yes. HHK said, how is a criteria commercial success? Commercial success. Midori Lee, yes. The YG staff that left to work at Jenny's company, I hope they planned the money well. Jenny has to keep busy to pay the staff. She's a very, very smart woman. I'm sure that she's planned that out. It's very expensive to maintain a company. Quite honestly, you know that I have a business. I have a small company. I have to keep on working to make sure that they get paid. So it is not easy.
This is from a live stream, so I'm gonna kind of just jump to the meat, maybe.
Said yes. Celeste said, but they will always be BTS. Still together and will be for years. I thought it was like an hour and a half. So I'll just answer that question first because I asked you that. So it will be unfair. Um, if I don't answer, right? So I will answer the question. I think I think not everyone will I think each member will pursue a different genre, like a different direction when it comes to their career. Um, so will everybody be able to match the commercial success of BTS? I don't think everybody will, and I don't think everybody will intend to because they just have different plans. I do think that they will like the success that they will experience in their own genre is comparable to the success of BTS in BTS's genre. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that for example, I think Suga is going to do more behind the scenes work when when he settles down. Not necessarily, I think he will still do like, he's probably going to tour again, and he's probably going to do stadium tours, and he's going to sell them out because because he made the mistake of not doing stadium tours the first time. But I think when he settles down, I think he's going to do like more behind the scenes work. Behind the scenes work, of course, will not be able to match the success of, I mean, you can't compare that to BTS, right? To what BTS has done. But the stature that he will,
So if he does behind the scene work that gets a Korean person a Grammy and a number one on Billboard, is that not bigger than what BTS was able to do as a whole? Because BTS was able currently to just get a nomination and a number one on Billboard. So what if Sugar produces a record behind the scenes for an artist that goes number one on Billboard and gets a Grammy? Does he not then do larger than the group? Like, I don't know. This point doesn't. There's not a good way she's tried to express that she thinks he'll be doing work behind the scenes, because his behind the scenes work could easily meet many of the metrics that happen as a whole. So I don't know what she's saying here.
accomplish as a producer and as a composer and doing all this other is comparable to the stature of BTS in its own genre.
Example. We all know who Pharrell Williams is, right? But that's because he was part of a group called the Neptunes. Not really, because he was actually producing stuff in New York since like 93 or 94 or something like that. But nobody knew who the hell he was. And then he popped with the Neptunes. And then he did things that are far larger than the Neptunes behind the scenes. And then also as a solo artist. But like, they're still a group. Well, not anymore. Him and Chad don't speak no more. But still, it's not the point. Like, I don't know. This particular point with how she's like, Sugar's gonna do this. I agree he might do things more behind the scenes, but the way that she's tried to frame it, I'm just like, it's poor framing. It's poor framing.
Another example would be, let's just put this as an example. Um, RM, for example, if he continues to pursue rap, right? Hip hop is different from pop. So, and then a foreign hip hop artist is different from pop, and it's very different from an African American hip hop artist because that is their genre.
She's right about black folks being a black artist, but our genres are also pop. You guys just have excluded us from them. But that was our genre first. So was R&B. So was fucking country. So were all these other genres. It's not my point. What if RM decides to pull a Drake and take the next 15 years off the table from everybody else and just does a rough shot on running the American music industry from Korea, like Drake was doing from Canada? Like, what is, like, I don't think she knows enough about rap in some regards to make certain statements that she's making. Because I'm just like, these are the most casual ideas I'm pulling out of my ass right now. And I'm just like, they're on the table and available. But the only difference is Drake had to get Canada after he got America, which was easy because you got America now. So Canada has to fall in line. If RM does fucking America, but already has Korea and already has Japan, like, these numbers are about to look really stupid. And don't let him for 2 seconds just be like, I'd like to be like one of the biggest motherfucker on the continent of Africa. Then what? Like, things are gonna get wicked.
Genre. But the level of success that RM is going to achieve in the genre that he chose will be comparable to is sort of the same level as the success of BTS in its genre. Am I making sense? Does that make
Yes,
sense?
it's just not a valid
So,
point.
um, that I think is what's going to happen. That they will achieve the level of success comparable to the level of success of BTS. Of BTS. Um, in terms of pop, I think definitely JK is a shoe in almost because he's very willing to go towards that direction. I think we will all be surprised. If you haven't seen it already, I think you're in for a surprise with Jimin. It's all going to go down to how willing Jimin is to do the promotional work in the West. So that means not just US, but also UK. He's going to have to learn a little bit more of the language. Let me just say that I've actually heard him speak in English, and he's not he can speak in English when he's relaxed. So I don't have any problems with him learning language. He will never ever lose the accent, but I think he can learn it. But not it's not just about the language, but actually being willing to do the promotional work. So if he's willing to do that, and that has a lot in it. That's loaded. That's a loaded thing to do. If he's willing to do that, you're going to be very surprised with what he can achieve. I'm actually surprised that a lot of people still do not recognize the level of success that he has achieved. I mean, Billboard Hot 100 number one. You launched.
Because pop music is popular in predominantly Western nations, but not around the world to a larger scope of people. Like, there's far more people that have never heard a Taylor Swift song than people that do support Taylor Swift songs. And that's why it's just like, you have to get outside this bubble of thinking that just because you do number one billboards and stuff like that, like every cunt knows you. That's not really how this works. It's more so you're just very well known and you're an industry darling and people care about you at a certain level within a certain industry. But like, there's people that have never even heard of Taylor Swift yet, and that's okay. But like, she's like infinitely famous though, you would think. So you'd be surprised to be like, oh yeah, I've never heard a Taylor Swift song. It's like, yeah, there's people that exist in this world that like that. There's people that to this day. This is why like people keep fighting like new BTS fans. Is, oh, you don't know who these niggas are? You bump your head on one of their songs? Did you know they was part of this group of 7 other niggas? Well, six technically if you ran into one of them. 6 other niggas. So it's like, it's a very small way to think about how the world works if you think that the world just knows people just because they went number one on Billboard. Because the amount of people that don't know people that have gone number one on Billboard, especially one hit wonders, is the list is high.
You debuted a song, a non-English song, in number one. If it is, if that's an easy thing to do, a lot of people would have done it already.
It's not easy. Did you make you famous
Staying now
though?
20 21 weeks in a song that you barely promoted, if that is an easy thing to do, a lot of people would have done it. Okay. So that I think V is just going to pursue something else as a genre. I think is going to go with jazz and R&B, and I think that's going to make him very very happy. So I think it's going to be very artsy. Um
Our school V.
so can you expect the same kind of sales, right? In a jazz? No, but he's going to surpass many many jazz artists. So that's what I'm talking about. Like the level of success that they will achieve in their chosen genre will be comparable, will be equivalent to the success of BTS in BTS's genre. V is going into musical theater. I think so. I think musical theater is going there. Suga is going to produce.
Please no. Please, my dog. Stay the fuck away. Cause that nigga Lin Manuel Miranda gonna call you, have you out here singing some whack ass Hamilton or some shit. Like, nah, fuck that. Stay away. Actually go to fucking art school. Start fucking coloring with pastels and fucking oils and some shit. But please stay the fuck away from musical theater. And not because I don't think he'd be good at it. Just I don't want to lose my dog to no punk ass stage plays and off Broadway ass actors and fucking predilections. That shit's just gonna be trash. Nah, stay away. Stay away. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. Please. And I like musicals. This is coming from a person that likes musicals. I just know the theater world to a degree. Like, look at what's happening with the Wicked movie or whatever. It's like y'all putting a lot of smoke on that movie, and it ain't all that. It's just not. Or that what's the one with Rosario Dawson? That's fucking just won a Golden Globe. It's a media darling. That movie is dog shit. It's just a bunch of people blowing like. There's people in the music industry that just blow smoke up each other's ass just to blow smoke up each other's ass to get a lot of money. But like in the theater world, it's like it's on steroids and it's just even worse. Cause fuck, I hate it. I hate it. Because when it's a good fucking play, I'm there for it. But like when it's a good play or a shit play or a shit musical, but like a bunch of famous people have done it. Like look what they did with Cats. Look what they did with Cats. I defy you to tell me that was a fucking good fucking no. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do that to my nigga.
A movie, like he's going to score a movie. Um, so yeah, so yeah, yeah. I think J Hope is actually a triple threat, in that he can actually rap, sing, and dance. Quadruple threat because he also writes. And I think he is going to be, if there is anybody who would be willing to go through the promotions, I think it will be J Hope. Um, so we will also be very surprised with J Hope. I think V is very good in jazz. Not a fan of jazz before, but I am loving it. I'm actually not a fan of jazz. I mean, I support Sugar. I'm Sugar. I mean V. I support V, of course, but I'm not a big fan of jazz. It's not something that I will pursue.
I feel like people say they're not a fan of jazz only know like that breakfast, morning tea, sleepy kind of versions of jazz. They've not seen the wider breadth of what jazz can be, so they don't know that there's a version of jazz for fucking everybody. Like jazz is the progenitor for like everything outside of like dub and sound system culture music. Like jazz is the bridge to contemporary classical music and everything that we have in modern music. It is like that bridge right before fucking rock and roll comes, before R&B comes, before soul, funk. All of these things are all children of the fruit of the tree of jazz. It's just what version of jazz do you particularly like, and how has it influenced the genre that you're in? But I promise you, there's a version of jazz for fucking everybody. It's just what kind is gonna be your kind.
That's why I lean towards Friends because it's the least jazzy of his songs. Um,
Cat, you
but
don't know
but of
jazz.
course I support him, and I will continue to support him.
If you go back to my fucking uh, V, what is that? Layover, fucking reactions. You go watch those, and I'm blown away about how he's able to have turned jazz standards into pop records that people don't understand that they're listening to jazz, and that's why I find this funny. Or I call Kat on her saying that, oh, that's like his least jazzy. Every song on there is jazz. Every fucking single one of them. They're just dressed up to be other things, so you don't think that you're listening to jazz. That's my point, again, of you just don't know what version of jazz you like until it's brought to you or you hear it.
I will continue supporting him. Yes, V, I'm sure will do musical theater. JR said
Please.
J Hope can be like J Park but good. So
Shots
not J
fired.
Park.
Shots fired twice.
I'm kidding. I mean, J Park is a very good musician. He's a very good marketer.
Yeah, 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 I give you the
Don't
latter half.
sleep on worldwide handsome Jin. I
Waiting on
think
that
Jin
rap
is going to
album.
be like, he's going to become ultra rich. I think he's going to go into business.
What do you think he's doing on the
Really, I think
way?
we're going to wake up one day and see Jin as one of the first billionaires. It's like, Jin is a billionaire. How did that happen? Well, Jungkook was touring. He was just earning money. He might actually do Jin hit. Jin the gamer. JK, J Hope, and maybe Jimin. But Jimin, I'm not sure he wants it. Um, I
After that
think,
nigga's last album? What are these people saying?
does he want? I don't.
Let's just have the conversation of who we could say doesn't want it based off of their music only. V doesn't give a fuck, cause that's the heart of jazz. Don't give a fuck. Just do what you want to. So V don't give a fuck. RM is apathetic to what will happen if he actually plays the game, because he actually can see what the fuck will happen. So he's very apathetic to the dynamic of what that would be. Jin, I think he would do it so he could have more army and for army to be happy to see him do it. I think that's what would get Jin to do it. The other rest of them niggas, well, hold on, Sugar. I think Sugar would do it to say, like, ha ha, you didn't expect this, but I did it, and I did it the way I wanted to, and I did something also that you didn't expect me to do. The other three niggas, though, Jimin, Jimin, J Hope, and Jungkook, they motherfuckers. they're priming themselves for international global fame as solos in a way that I've never seen any other artist from this region of the world ever be primed. So it's coming regardless because they're doing it based off of the music. They're not having to do all these extra promotions and all this other shit. Bitch, I got a CD you're gonna like. And it's better than everybody else's shit out there. And the more I code it with English or make it more palatable to a wider audience that's not just English, it's gonna do numbers. It's gonna do numbers.
Does he? I don't know. I know that Jimin has continuously surprised me with his drive towards artistic excellence. I really did not expect this from him. I think I've mentioned this before. The shock that the US that we were in when he hit number one, our jaws dropped. Like, where did this guy come from? So, and he can still continues to surprise me with his drive for artistic excellence, with how he's trying to he would with how he not just tried, but he how he has reinvented himself. And I think that's what's so exciting about him, because you don't know what he's going to be doing next, right? So, and I think he will continue to surprise us. And that's why I'm saying that it isn't, I don't know if he would be willing to do the kind of promotions that is required. But then Jimin is also the kind that has defied trends, right? He has continuously reinvented things. He has not done the same thing others are doing. So I even though I think I kind of agree with you that he may not be willing to do the promotional work, I will also not discount the fact that despite his unwillingness to do things the traditional route, he will still make it. Um, Jimin behind the scene, Yo Van F. Jimin behind the scenes working was impressive, absolutely impressive. And that grind factor stands out. One hot Shan said. Ash Genie's lamp becomes an investment or a VC. And I think this is not the only venture he's going to go into. I do think he's going to venture more into gaming because that's something that he's very passionate about. So I think he might like partner with Hybe on something when it comes to like metaverse gaming or something like that. But I think iJin is just the first of the many that he's going to do. I think like I think he will definitely continue making music, and he has promised that in his song. He did say that he will continue making music, but he said that the only group he's going to be a member of is BTS, and I think he's serious about that. So I think he will like do a project, right, and then wait for the like. But then on the side, he's going to get into this many ventures, and then he's just going to be super rich and super successful. Sandy said Arm doesn't get the credit he deserves. Something sometimes I think often he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I just went on a rant last live stream. I was talking about how frustrated I was that his documentary isn't getting the kind of respect that it deserves, because I think that documentary is going to gain the attention of many people and will inspire people to actually give K-pop a chance. Um, Rachel said Fairy Lane. I was not surprised at all, but you're right. If he is motivated to do it, I think he had to prove to himself that he is good enough. I think it's not you're just partially. I think it's not just I don't think he's ever doubted he's good enough. I think he's just not because as I've said, like when during the BTS era, he had the least amount of writing credits and stuff. So I think it was just a matter of him finding his creative self. So I think he knew he had what it takes. He just wasn't sure like where do I go? And that's why it was important for him to do these two initial projects. RM deserves so much more, way more. Um, and just think of NJ had FAFO. They could be making. They're in the find out stage. No, actually, they're still in the FA stage. As soon they'll enter the FO stage, the find out stage. RM is gaining the respect of musicians and thinkers. He is gaining that respect. I do want him to get like mainstream respect, but because I think a lot of people will benefit from what he's doing. I wouldn't be surprised if Jin also goes into the tuna industry. I think Jin is capable of getting to in any industry. But yeah, I do think that he's going to like become extra, like super rich someday. In every BTS song, you can hear Jimin vocals. RM is an amazing artist. He has his own way of showing his talents. Okay, we are at 2 hour 2 hour mark. I did not know that we will get here. I thought we will get to like an hour.
Okay, if she's wrapping it up, one, step it up. 2 hours. Last live stream I did was like 6. Stop playing with me. We live stream for real. We stay with the people. Nah, I wish this was a little bit more organized than the point she was making, not just a excerpt of a conversation from a live stream about a question that she wanted to pose, because I feel like she has more thoughtful things to say when she does pre-plan the video, not just off the cuff kind of comments. Because I'm glad I said what I said in the beginning. I'm glad I said my points in between, but like, I just don't think that with how she views the music industry, it's still the old industry. It's not the new one that is coming, and the old one is dying. Like, I don't think that people are really paying attention to this, and I hope that I'm right, that music is going global in a way that, like, how everybody wants to do. Like, you can't say you've done a world tour without having North America, specifically the United States of America, as one of those places on your world tour. That prestige and that iron curtain that we have from America, where people still, they become world famous and they still want to go to America and they still want to do well in America. That is either going to become far more easier to do, or it's going to become something that people begin to care less and less about, and matter less and less and less. Like, having a number one in Germany is nice, but it really don't matter. Having a number one in Australia is nice, but it really don't matter. Having a number one in Prague is nice, but it really don't matter. It's beginning. I want the whole world to be like that. Could you go number one in all these places? Sure. Does it matter? No. But is it accessible to you? Because that's the thing that I see coming, is the globalization of the music industry, where it doesn't matter where people are from, what language the music is in. If it's good music, it will transcend and permeate all borders, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, especially because of how pervasive the internet has made it. And so easy for people to border hop, or to be able to check vibes and sounds from places that they've never even can't even fucking find on a map. Half the people I listen to right now, I don't even know where them niggas live at, honestly. Like, if the gun to my head, find this city in this country, I'd be fucking dead. I'd be dead. Shit, I couldn't even find fucking Seoul on the map. I'm not even trying to be like cheeky. Like, I honestly know it's somewhere on like the bottom right, I guess. Fucking, it's an East Coast city. No? See, I don't even fucking know. I'd be dead. I'd be dead. But do you know what? I know a lot of music from that place. That's the difference. That's the world I see coming. The way that she speaks is like she speaks of America never falling, and it just being the way it's going to be for another 20, 40 years. And I'm just like, I don't see it being like that for like another decade. Like, we got like maybe 5 years left of how shit is running. But that's my views. But all right, that's it for this video. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon, and PayPal are in the description. And see you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.